afternoon, everyone. This is Brother Yusuf Wadi coming at you. I want to talk a little bit about this curriculum, the timeless curriculum, and how it actually transformed lives, and how it transformed my life, and how, what are the key ingredients? What is the recipe? What is the reason that underlies why individuals do change? And we're talking about a subject that it definitely people want to know, because oftentimes we hear about crime, recidivism, people, the revolving door, as they call it. Individuals commit crimes, they get involved in criminal behavior and activity, and somehow they can't break that cycle, and it becomes generational, where you see not only the father, the son, the grandson, and the whole generation of folks passing through the judicial system. And so the Timeless Group is an organization now, a 501c3, but it actually it's a curriculum. And that's how it started inside the prison system in the state of California. Myself, I just want to give you a little bit of background about myself. A convert, Muslim convert. At the time that the Timeless curriculum, the Timeless group was born, I was recently converted to Islam. And there were many things that I noticed about the religion, Islam, that many of the ideas, the concepts, especially as it relates to purification of the heart, purification of the tongue, purification of one's behavior and conduct, that was really, really intriguing. And it was really one of those things for me that transformed my life. So as I began to explore this religion, and coming from a Christian background, which also had a number of principles that one can ascribe to better reshape and reform one's life. Islam in particular had some anecdotes that was related specifically to the tongue, how to change one's thinking and so forth and so on. But to go a little bit deeper, for one to really change, it's not a matter of just doing. It's actually a matter of believing and thinking. So a person's thinking has to really change. So, for example, the thug life, the criminal life, the belief that we have in that world is that, we got to get paid. I got to get my money. However I got to get it, I'm going to get it, whether it's robbing, stealing, killing. I need mine. I need to get paid. I need to have my money. I need to have this. I need to have that. And it was by any means necessary. And it didn't really have any type of boundaries related to any type of morality or, virtuous dealing. And none of that is involved when you start talking about a person being a criminal, having criminal behavior and criminal tendencies. So how do you change that? You have to, the only way that you're going to change that is if your belief itself change. So one of the things that we set out to do as a part of this organization, as a part of Timeless, when I began writing about this, I said to myself, we first have to examine what brings us to this place, to prison. So I had a course of many, many years. I was incarcerated in February 1991, and I was released in May of 2012. So I had a lot of time. I had a lot of interaction with individuals that were coming in and out of prison. And I would ask these questions such as, you just got out of prison. What brought you back? What's your background? Where you from? Where you live? Where you was raised? Do your father in your life? Who comes to visit you? Moms? All of these type of questions that were being asked of me to individuals that would become my cellie, as we say, our cellmate. I would learn, and I was literally collecting data as myself doing time. I'm collecting data, learning a little bit more about each individual situation and how everybody are impacted by trauma and hardships and things of this sort. And and in most cases, individuals that left the prison system, they end up back in their old neighborhoods, socializing with their old friends and comrades. If their people in their family were on drugs, they return to that same situation. They turn to that same place. And when it's time to find employment or seek employment, first of all, the skill set is not there from the gate. So that was an area that we knew when I began to write about Timeless. That would be one of the things that we would have to incorporate is skills development, life skills, skills development, soft skills, all of these things as it relates to a skill set, learning a skill set before one is released from prison. So all of this information, along with the moral component that was added, such as dress code, how you dress, not sagging your pants, how are you perceived by the public. All of these different features were written into the Timeless curriculum. And as it was written in such a way to create a new set of belief systems. So you're taking away one negative set of beliefs, and you're replacing it with a new one that says, dress to impress, one that says, how you're perceived, how people receive you is how you will be treated, how individuals talk, how they would talk to a potential employer, what kind of language they would use when they're talking to someone that would potentially be their supervisor. So all of these things were actually written into the curriculum. And each different curriculum had a set of these principles that allowed individuals to do away with their past thinking, past behavior, past the way they would handle situations to a new set of ways how they would handle and deal with things. So we're literally replacing all of this negativity. But as we doing it, we're ingraining and impressing upon the individuals that's in the program to take it on as a belief. Take it on as a belief that now I do believe that people's property is sacred. People's rights, people's lives, people's property is sacred. This is what we kept emphasizing in the curriculum, things like this. Or one's responsibility to his son or his daughter, that the rights of his son and his daughter over him or her, right? So these things were implemented into the curriculum. So now, when before, okay, I got a kid, I got a son out there, whatever. Now it's about, what? My son that I left behind, my children that I've left behind have rights over me. They have a right to have me in their life. They have a right to have me earning viable employment by which I'm able to take care of them without the running the risk of reincarceration, which means I have to earn a living that is legit and is going to provide for them, and it's not going to put them at risk by me doing illegal activity to earn a living to end up back in the prison system. Right? So these are some of the main components to the Timeless curricula. And as it continued to grow and progress, so we have programs such as SAFE. And this SAFE is an acronym for staying out of prison, addressing addiction, family in crisis, and earning a legitimate living. See? So each curriculum you can kind of identify with the acronym what it's going to be about, what this curriculum or what this particular course is going to entail. And as we deliver this course to these individuals, it's like these aha moments, or, the light gets turned on in these individuals and they be like, wow, all I have to do is change my thinking, change the way I approach things, change the way I evaluate situations, change the way I handle conflict, change the way I view how I'm looked at by the public and by my peers and by my people, by my parents, by my children. As this new belief system that's being embedded in them through the curriculum, they take on a whole different aura. Now their whole behavior begins to change. The way they walk, the way they think, the way they talk, the way they address matters is totally being transformed right before our eyes, right before us. We are seeing this process take place. So I think that when people really understand the curricula and why it's so impactful, we just recently had somebody that returned to incarceration from our curriculum out of zero. We was zero. Before this incident, we had zero recidivism. Zero recidivism. No one that's went through our full curricula has returned to incarceration. And just recently. So we're still like 0.1 or perhaps 0.2 or less than that recidivism rate for individuals that's completed our curriculum. So these are the things that I wanted to share about this. So when you hear me or anybody talking about, oh man, what is this about timeless? Timeless this, timeless group, the timeless curricula. This is what it's about. If you visit our website, www.timelessgroup.org, you will see the list of curricula or courses that we offer, and these courses are being delivered inside the prison system, various institutions, and as well as at our locations, our sites where we have programming. That can be anywhere from somebody's living room to to our transitional house. So timeless is so transformative, and the curriculum is so transformative because the individuals that designed it, we had in mind, when it was written, when I put pen to paper, there was a lot of thought that went in it, and it was written while in the belly of the beast, and so there was a lot of direct experience, direct contact with everyone from law enforcement to families that's impacted by incarceration, and we were able to really come up with a complete package on how to address this issue we call crime and recidivism. So that's all I wanted to share today on the show, and please share, follow me, follow my podcast. Encourage others to follow, share it. Because I'm going to keep coming with some stuff, and I would like to engage you all, and I'd like to continue this dialogue. I think it's a good conversation, and I think this conversation should continue. And, I would like to share at some point, how you can personally get involved on a more deeper level, meaning build your own framework, perhaps for organization. And, this is what's up. And I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you listening in. Peace. Much love.